Assalamualaikum. Today we would like to present our case study for software engineering subject, which is Majlis Bandaraya Ipoh or MBI website. So I am the first presenter. My name is Nur Izzadania binti Hisharizal and my role is as a project manager. Next, I would like to introduce our team members. I am Nur Izzadania binti Hisharizal as a project manager, and Muhammad Hafiz bin Zahari as a system analyst, Nabilah Yumna binti Reza Ansar as a system designer, and Nurliana Atira binti Zaliani as a programmer. The first question is the explanation on the case study. Our case study is about the city council system in Perak State, which is Majlis Bandaraya Ipoh, also known as MBI. As a local planning authority under the Town and Country Planning Act 1976 or Act 172, MBI is directly responsible by the law with developing and implementing locality-based development planning policies that are compatible with government policies. In general, the Ipoh City Council, as a local authority, is a corporate organisation established by the Local Government Act 1976, Act 171, as a body responsible for managing and administering the Ipoh City area based on local interest. The border area of the council has grown to 643 square kilometres and is home to over 720,000 people. Ipoh serves as the state capital of Perak Darul Rizwan and is a hub for trade, politics, business, administration, sports and education. The Ipoh City Council, now led by the mayor, is still working to make the city a better, more vibrant place to live. The MBI's mission is Ipoh Bandar Wilayah Pintar, berteruskan ekosistem mampan dan bestari sejahtera. While the vision is memperkasakan pengurusan bandar secara inklusif ke arah bandar raya pintar, rendah karbon dan bestari sejahtera menjelang 2030. It also has a powerful slogan, Ipoh Bestari Sejahtera. Majlis Bandaraya Ipoh is responsible for a lot of tasks such as cities and region planning, city development management, property management, license and business management, and also roads along with drainage management. MBI is also responsible for managing basic infrastructure, public facilities and utilities, besides the enforcement of rules, policies and laws. In addition, MBI also helps with environmental issues like managing environmental cleaning services and environmental health management. Full URL for the website is stated below. The introduction to the website. Next, for questions number 3, the portal's objective is to provide all facilities and services as a foundation for achieving a habitable, high quality and sustainable quality of life in order to improve the city's citizens' standard of living. It also wishes to improve the efficiency of the service delivery system. Furthermore, to promote smart and sustainable development planning across all sectors. In addition, to improve infrastructure and public facilities while empowering inclusive community engagement for future development. And finally, to protect the environment and maintain a clean environment. For the info services, this portal offers a location for Ipoh residents of all ranks and status to conduct everyday transactions, including staff links, visitors, traders, and citizens. This portal offers features like electronic bill payment, electronic license creation, tenders, and goods tax. For the expectation of software engineering involvement in portal, we expected continuous monitoring and improvement from the software engineers involved in this portal. This is because the portal contains a lot of important information. As a result, software engineers must implement monitoring tools to track portal performance, identify issues, and collect user feedback. Continuous improvement involves analyzing data, addressing issues, and enhancing features in response to changing user needs and requirements. For example, even though we enter the correct password, this e-bayaran portal refuses to let us log in and informs us that we entered the incorrect password. So, there is an error in the system that prevents us from logging in.
Question 3. Functional and non-functional requirement for each role. First is project manager. Functional requirement is transaction processing. The MBI website should have e-commerce functionality. For instance, contractor and supplier should be able to buy a tender at the portal called MyPerolehan. Next is non-functional requirements, which is availability. Beside the MyPerolehan portal, there should be a lot of other services and that include online transaction in MBI. The next is system analysis. Functional requirements. Online service for citizens. MBI gives the ability for citizens to access the system Perpustakaan Bersepadu KOHA. Users can search what kind of books the user wants and the site will show the material type of the book, publisher and availability. For non-functional requirements, it's accessibility. The system Perpustakaan Bersepadu KOHA sites provide text alternative for two visual elements. Next is system designer. Functional requirement. MBI location or destination user will be given multiple choice of places to visit such as recreation, cafes and foods, heritage trails and medical service which are in Ipoh. The non-functional requirement in this case study is usability requirement. MBI introduced a falling down list of features that users should just click which area they are interested in to get the contact information and location of the place near them. For programmer, the functional requirement, MBI should make form and data input for users to make complaints and give feedback on the Ipoh city. For example, MBI offer an online form at MyAduan for customers to file complaints or provide feedback on the service they provide. For non-functional requirement, MBI shall do security for users to feel safe every time they key in their personal information because their personal information is very important to them. For question 5. Construct your case study system architecture model using a block diagram. This is the picture of system architecture pattern. First, we choose a generic layered architecture for its modular design, scalability, maintainability, flexibility, and ease of testing, making it suitable for MBI websites. The architecture encourages separation of concern, allowing independent development and updates in different layers. This structure promotes collaborative development and easy adapt to change, improving security by enforcing policies at multiple levels. Layered architecture is popular in web development for its structure and organized approach to building websites. Significant advantages of layered architecture include modularity and separation of concerns, improving code readability and maintainability. Another key strength is scalability, enabling efficient resource allocation by independently scaling specific layers. Next, layer isolation makes testing manageable, improving the overall system readability and robustness. Collaborative development is facilitated by allowing different teams or developers to work on different layers simultaneously, shortening project timelines. Layer architecture effectively addresses security concerns by enforcing specific security measures at each layer. And last, in summary, a generic layer in architecture provides a structured and well-organized approach to web development, making it a popular choice for robust and efficient websites in various scenarios. And that's all for question 5.
My name is Nabila Yumna binti Reza Ansar and my role is system designer. I will present for question 6 and 7. Question 6. Based on role, identify, describe, and justify 2 possible risks and 2 strategies for managing each of the risks. Nur Izzadania as project manager, she is responsible for planning, dealing with clients' needs. So the risks that may harm project are organizational risks and people risks. Organizational risk may come from the changes in the overall business environment. To mitigate this risk, she should maintain open communication with stakeholders. For people risk, it involves challenges related to team members, which is attrition and skill gaps. To manage this risk, she should focus on building a flexible team. Next, Nabila Yumna as system designer. The first possible risk type that can occur for my roles is requirement risk. I might experience frequent changes of requirement from customer that can affect the progress of designing system for the MBI website. The strategy for the risk, I can use agile software development methodology. It is flexible and adaptable, which makes it simpler to adjust the changes in requirements. Next possible risk type is technology risk. The technology risk that I mentioned is user authentication risk. If the MBI website has a weak authentication mechanism, it can lead to unauthorized access data breaches. To overcome the risk, use more secure and HTTP-only cookies to prevent the attacker from stealing the session token or cookies to impersonate the user. Muhammad Hafiz as system analysis, his possible risks are estimation risk and requirement changes. Underestimating the time required to develop often will lead to delays and project failures. To manage this, he needs to conduct in-depth preliminary analysis and design to clarify the scope and technical needs before estimation begins. Requirement changes can lead to project dragging and also delays. The strategy to manage this is clear communication with stakeholder and customer education, which informs customer on the steps involved in developing software. And the last one, we have Nurlana Atira as programmer. Technology and tools are the types of risks that may harm her project. In terms of technology, she may have encountered data loss and backups. Automated regular backups by implementing automated scheduled backups to ensure regularity and off-site storage by storing backups in a secure off-site location are two strategies for managing data loss and backups risks. Meanwhile, for tools, due to the difference of how different browsers interpret and render code, browser compatibility is regarded as a risk. The strategy to manage browser compatibility are cross-browser testing by conducting thorough testing on multiple browsers and their versions. Question 7 suggests new to API that can be abandoned in the respective case study system, which can improve the system functionality and performance. The first API is Stripe API, which a public API. This API can handle online payments for MPI website as well as apps that accept payments. It is also offers a lot of flexibility in terms of subscriptions, invoices, and fraud protection. Secondly, Open Weather Map API. This API allows the developers to display up-to-date weather information for specific location on MBI websites. This data contains current weather condition, temperature, and wind speed. Since the Open Weather Map API is a public API, so anyone can check the weather via MBI website.
Next, I will explain on question number 8 and 9. So the question number 8 is about a type of testing that user can use for our case study, which is MBI. So the first testing is alpha testing, beta testing, and the last one is user acceptance testing. So I will explain why and how we choose these three type of testing. For alpha testing, why we choose is because to identify and fix bugs and more, as shown in the slide. To prepare for beta testing, how we do the alpha testing is by doing a preparation, test planning, execution, and more, so that we are ready for the beta testing. Beta testing, why we use it? Because to ensure that software meet user expectation, so that it is ready for a successful public release. And how we use it? By involve a structural process of distributing a beta version of a software to the external users, so that they can give a feedback for us and we can improve it. And lastly, why we use user acceptance testing is to verify that the software meets specific requirements and aim to ensure client satisfaction. How we use it by preparing test case and then we selecting representative tester and then creating a realistic test environment, providing training and executing test case are all part of the process. Meanwhile, for the question number 9 is about factor that influence software post-development delegate for maintenance cost factor. There are 4 factors that we choose based on our role. So for the project manager, the factor is team stability. For system analysis is contractual responsibility. For system designer is staff skill, and the last one for programmer is program age and structure. So I will explain all these factor one by one. The first factor is team stability, which is referred to the consistency and continuity of the project team over time. This is important, especially in maintenance project, where a stable team can contribute to improve efficiency, better knowledge, and enhance collaboration. So, as a project manager, it's very important to have a stable team. So the project manager have to create a positive vibe to keep the member. And the second factor is contractual responsibility, where the system analyst is responsible for truly understanding and accurately documenting system requirement as outlined in the contract. Based on our case study, the system analyst had a contractual obligation to deliver the MBI per the requirement and term in the agreement with the client. So any modification to the specification or requirement to MBI must be duly recorded with the and authorized by the customer in accordance with the contract specific change management procedure. Also, system analysts need to guarantee that the MBI design meet all the contractual requirements. And the third factor is staff skill. Maintenance staff often inexperienced and have limited domain knowledge. So high skill need to be honed through experience. For a system designer, the availability of personnel with the necessary skill and experience to maintain the software system is mandatory because it can affect the cost and effort of maintenance. So based on our case study, the development team may require the support of additional team members who are experienced in handling MBI maintenance. This team member will have the MBI system experience and knowledge if they were involved from the beginning to the end, which will lower the complexity of development and maintenance costs. The last factor is program age and structure, which means that they will have a change management. So this is the process of managing software change such as update, patches, and new features. So the new technique, tools, and software development process such as UML, SDS, and other have been introduced in software engineering. So the programmer need to create a new code. As a result, having a high quality code that is easier to understand and modify will reduce the time and effort required for maintenance tasks. Because of the complexity of making changes, poorly written and unmaintainable code may result in increase. So the cost we will need more cost to create this code and to maintain it back.
That's all from us. Thank you.